You're welcome back to Afrosport now in focus, and the world is still paying tribute to Christian Chukwu, the former Super Eagles head coach and former Super Eagles defender, Green Eagles defender at the time, which passed away at the age of 74 in the early hours of Saturday morning in Enugu. Chukwu had been battling with a series of health issues since 2019, and his death comes 20 days after the 45th anniversary of winning Nigeria's first ever Africa Cup of Nations title on home soil, which he captained. He played his entire career with Enugu Rangers and won 10 titles, including 4 league titles and 2 continental titles. Christian Chukwu transitioned to management after his retirement in 1981 and had 2 spells with Rangers between 1982 and 1985 and between 1986 and 1998. He began his foray with the Nigerian national team with the under-17 side between 1985 and 1986, before going on to have the role of Super Eagles assistant coach under Clemens Westerhoff, leading the team to the 1999 AFCON title and their first ever appearance at the FIFA World Cup. Chukwu went on to coach the Kenyan national team between 1998 and 2003. He began his foray with the Nigerian national team with the under-17 side between 1985 and 1986, before going on to have the role of Super Eagles assistant coach Clemens Westerhoff, leading the team to the 1994 AFCON title and their first ever appearance at the FIFA World Cup. Chukwu went on to coach the Kenyan national team between 1998 and 2003 before returning to Nigeria to coach the Super Eagles between 2003 and 2005, helping them to a bronze medal at the 2004 AFCON finals in Tunisia. And of course, that is a storied, detailed story of his time, his lifetime, and his participation in Nigeria's football folklore. And today we're paying tribute to him. I'm in the studio with Tayo Ogunsheye. Our correspondent is right here to, of course, reflect on the life and times of Christian Chukwu. Great to have you on the show, and what a time it is in Nigerian football.
What a time it is. Nigeria is grieving, yet celebrating the great life of Christian Chukwu. Chairman, I've had several interviews with him in the past. He's always jovial, welcoming, and the way he carried himself had so much humility around him. Despite his stature, even when he's on the pitch, there is this commanding aura around him. That's why they called him chairman, right from when in the 70s, when he then became the captain of the then Green Eagles. He led Nigerian then to win the AFCON, the Nations Cup then in 1980 in March. And just a few days ago, the country celebrated the 45th anniversary of that victory. So for Christian Chukwu, he's had a very wonderful life during this time, because after playing for the national team, he was more like absorbed into, all the experience he had as a player, he was transited into coaching. And from when Westerhoff came around, he was his right wingman. He was learning the ropes, taking charge, listening to and understanding the Dutchman. And ordinarily, you would expect that, he should take over from the Dutchman when he left. And that was what actually happened. When he left, he took over, and he was in charge at some point from 2002 to 2005. Because during that period, now you remember he was with the Super Eagles then. He took them to Tunisia when Nigeria wanted to kind of recreate what happened in 1994. More like winning it in Tunisia in 2004. So don't forget that in that tournament, JJ Okocha scored the 1,000th goal for the Nations Cup when Nigeria defeated Cameroon. So for Christian Chukwu, it's been a storied life. In his later life, he struggled with health. I spoke with him during that period. He seeks support. People said he was being old. He too said he was being old by the Federation. He seeks support. People rallied around him. And at the end of the day, what actually struck me most was when he celebrated his 70th birthday. He was on a wheelchair. His family serenaded him. His wife was right beside him. And they sang and they enjoyed. He enjoyed the moment, because I asked him after that time in an interview, now how did he feel? He said nobody told him about having a surprise 70th birthday for him. So for Christian Chukwu, losing his dying at the age of 74, he shows that he's a true legend of African football, a real legend of Nigeria.
I really do have to coach you, because former media officer of the Super Eagles is on standby, and that's Toyin Ibitoye. He's going to join us in reflecting. Great to have you on the show, Toyin. And what's your fondest memories of Christian Chukwu?
Yeah, thank you, Ayomide. I think Tayo said it all. Chukwu's place in Nigerian football history is reserved and is etched in gold. No, nothing can, take it away. From his active playing days to when he transitioned into assistant coach, of course, under 17, then to the Super Eagles, and of course becoming the substantive head coach of the Super Eagles and all of that. Along the way, getting into the technical committee of the Nigeria Football Federation. His life is very central to Nigerian football development, and everywhere he got involved, he had something to show. Right from under 17, under 16 at that time when we won gold in China, to the Super Eagles with Clemens Westerhoff when we won gold at the AFCON. Before then, we had a silver in 1990, a silver in 1990, a bronze in 1992. And then a gold in 1994. Of course, the first set of Eagles to play at the World Cup, he was assistant coach to Clemens Westerhoff. And when he became Super Eagles coach, of course, he led us to a bronze medal at the 2004 Africa Cup of Nations. Before then, he coached in Kenya, he coached in Lebanon, and a true servant of the game, a true legend of the Nigerian game. And of course, when he took ill, we must of course give kudos to those who have who in a way extended his life, because when he took ill in 2019, it was life-threatening, and billionaire philanthropist Femi Otedola, former NFF president Amaju Pinnick, the former governor of Enugu State, veteran journalist Onochie and Ibeze, all played different roles, huge roles in ensuring that he was able to get medical attention in London. They flew him out of the country, flew him to London. It was attended to. It was a very urgent need for medical attention. They ensured that he got it, and that's why he got an extension of his life from that 2019. Extra 6 years up to 2025. We want legends to live forever, but it's not possible for them to live forever. But at least we thank God for the life of Christian Chukwu. As Tayo said, I remember that 70th birthday, very early in the morning. It was a surprise birthday party for him with singing and trumpeters coming around, to make him enjoy the moment. And I'm happy that he really had a good time that day. Something that I'm sure would also, he will always, unfortunately has left us now, but that was something that really, gave him a big boost until sadly he passed on Saturday. So his life was Nigerian football. He served us actively in his years, and when he retired, he was still serving. Even up till the time he died, he was a one-club man, played all his football with Rangers, coach Rangers at different times, So it was this when you talk about real legends of the game, those who really impacted the game and gave everything to it, that name stands out, Chairman Christian Chukwu.
Some of his teammates back in the day, some of them dead now, some of them are still alive, and of course, he had. In his time was definitely one that, of course, was to be reckoned with. And you can see on your screen now, the goalkeepers, defenders, his teammates were some of the best names standing out there. Shegun Degbam is still alive, by the way. And definitely, of course, many names that have shaped Nigerian football today. But what could you really characterize him as in that golden age, that golden era when we won the first African Championship, 1980 Nations Cup, as it was called then, and the team was still Green Eagles. Looking at that team now, he obviously was a leader in that team.
Yeah, it was. It was a central figure, leading the team from the back. He was indeed the central figure. Was a leader, charismatic leader. using football as a tool for national development after the war. Rangers became a powerhouse, and it was right in the mix of that Rangers squad, winning continental titles as been highlighted in this history, and ensuring that Nigeria, they were the first real genuine set of football superstars. When you mention Chukwu, mention Emmanuel Okala, mention Besto Gedegbe, Segun Degbami, Felix Owolabi, Henry Nwosu, Kadri Kana, they became the first generation of football superstars that the country produced. They really galvanized the nation with the way they won the AFCON in 1980. The entire nation stood behind the team, got behind them, and it brought football into national consciousness. So it played a role really in establishing what has now become made Nigeria now a powerhouse. When you talk about football, we are now very, very well recognized, not just on the continent, but globally. Nigeria has become a household name in world football. So these people laid the foundation for all of that. And, what we can look back at his life, and, when we remember the words of our old national anthem, that the labor of our heroes past should never be in vain. This is exactly what we mean. That those who served us and gave everything for us, when you remember them, it shows that they are alive, they are not dead. When you live in the minds of those who love you and those you've impacted, then we can't really call you a dead person. You are still alive. It's just that your address has changed and we can't see you again physically, but you are still there, still in our emotions, still in our minds, and that's exactly where Chairman Christian Chukwu is.
I'm just looking at the squad. If you can bring it up, the squad here before that's the final. Best Okedegbe, right there. I remember in 2008 during the Nations Cup in Ghana, we worked together then. There was also a Sima. Both of them are late now. I think during that period, he went for an eye surgery. That was Best Okedegbe went for an eye surgery and never came back. Very jovial man as well. But if you check these players, all of them, if not most of them, I think 99% of these players were playing in the Nigerian league. That shows that individually they are stars. If the Southerners want to call Christian Chukwu, they say Suku, So there is a fusion of culture that these set of players, the AFCON 1980 team, they brought to the national limelight. It kind of blends everybody together across the Niger. There is unity, there is a friendliness. Segun Degbami today, he celebrated his 73rd years anniversary about last year, and for a player like that, for a personality like that, he was the one who actually broke the news after Emmanuel Okala told him about what happened, because Emmanuel Okala and Christian Chukwu, they are very, very close. They are even a member of the elite team, kind of. The Enugu Rangers, their former club, has a place for them. Whenever there is a game in Enugu right there, they're always there to watch the team play.
Right, but okay, before we go, Taro, let me ask you. Toyin there said that, look, the efforts of heroes past should not be in vain. What must we do? What must we be doing now to make sure that the efforts of people like Christian Chukwu in our football, Segun Odegbami in our football, does not go in vain, even in present times, bearing in mind the current realities of the national football team?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, Christian Chukwu, chairman, is well known in his locality in Enugu. The Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium already has a name. There should be a monument named after him. It could be in Abuja, it could be anywhere, but he has to be immortalized. Others too are late, but for him as a captain, he stands out because of his leadership role, because of how he transverses across the football hemisphere in the country. So apart from that, there should be other programs named after, immortalizing his name, so that whoever is going to play, like if there is an academy or something, whoever is going there will know that this is a place revered for a legend like Christian Chukwu. And then beyond that, the government needs to step in, because when a player like Christian Chukwu In Africa, we say when an Iroko tree has fallen, then it's difficult to replace that tree.
Yeah.
So it's important that the government also steps in, they immortalize him, give him his befitting title that he deserves, even posthumously.